Welcome to the Inner Champions podcast. Would you like to promote your business so the world can find you? If so, follow us at Inner Champions Podcast on Instagram. Lastly, follow our current sponsors Tees Enchanted Trinkets on Instagram and The Real Talk with Jordyn.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Heat and Headline Sports Show Update podcast. We are here today as our first ever official show or podcast. Welcome in. I hope you guys enjoy. This is going to be a fun-filled sports show, sports podcast, everything involved. We're going to talk a little bit about MLB today and some basketball. MLB is off to a very hot start, especially those Los Angeles Dodgers, world champs, and hope to be back-to-back world champs. That is far-fetched from now. That is a long time away, but off to a very, very hot start. Unfortunately, I'll be honest with you, I have yet to catch a game. I have been traveling the last few weeks, and it has been a uproar of just a lot of exciting highlights, and some of their new signings are doing quite well already, and just phenomenal. I'm very stoked. I can't wait to see where it goes, and hopefully it just goes smooth and injury-free, either on throughout the season, obviously, but early on. So it looks to be an incredible MLB season, at least for the Dodgers. Of course, I will be following some of the other closer teams around and surrounding the Dodgers, but all the way around so far, it looks to be very exciting. It looks to be off to a very hot start for the Dodgers. Of course, our rival, the Los Angeles Angels, I have yet to catch one of their games or even check their record because they kind of are just meaningless at this point. They just keep losing. They're inconsistent. Hopefully, they can turn the corner a little bit. But I think they have a long time to grow. And unfortunately, in my opinion, I don't think that they'll get there until they change or clean house completely to a core. I know that they've tried to throw in some wrinkles and change some managers here and there and change some upper development skills and whatnot, but I just don't think it's in them at this point. But that's a long, far-fetched thing, and hopefully they can change the corner. I wish them the best. And then on other sides of news, we got WNBA about to start. That looks really exciting. I'm going to be watching or trying to watch a lot of WNBA games this year. We got Caitlin Clark coming back. We've got her little revamped team, and they look to be clicking. I don't know if you guys watched, but she looks to be healthy. She's been in the spotlight taking photos at different games and things like that. So she looks healthy. She looks excited. She looks motivated. She looks like she wants to come back with a vengeance, and I hope she doesn't get bullied. It has the opportunity to showcase her athleticism and her skill at the highest level for the WNBA, and people can just understand that she's an all-star athlete and has that kind of mindset, has that kind of attitude, and not take offense that she's better than 95% of the WNBA, in my opinion. Her work ethic says it all, in my opinion. She has a great offseason. I'm pretty sure this year she's had a great offseason. I know that she's been, in the gym and attacking it and just rehab and getting back. And people just need to realize that she is who she is because she puts in the work, she puts in the time. And again, this is all opinion-based. You all can disagree to agree or not. And that's okay. That's on you. That's your own opinion. That's your own thoughts. And we're not really here to debate, but at the same time, we can be here to debate. Do you think Caitlin Clark is an all-time all-star? I do. I think she proved that right straight from college, just kind of like a Kobe Bryant era did. He proved it. I know he never went to college, but yeah, she did, and that's just where she's at. So I think that's really kind of cool, and I hope she gets the opportunity where it deserves to be shined in the WNBA. And she has brought a lot of attention to the WNBA because of her athleticism, because of her skill, because of her determination, and so on and so forth. And she deserves the spotlight. She likes the spotlight. I think she prospers and succeeds in the spotlight. She loves her back against the wall and the challenge and the negative comments and the bashing and everything, because I think she thrives off of it. I think she becomes a stronger player because of it. She got picked on early in her career, and she just does what she does because she's good at it. She sets her mind to it, and she just carries away with it. And it's phenomenal to watch. Her energy on the court, her energy around her team, getting her teams motivated, getting her teams pumped up. We also got Paige Beckers coming back, and I think she's going to have a hell of a run, especially with her new coach coming on. I have had the personal opportunity to sit in a special kind of conference with him. That was a very fun, honorable thing I got to sit in on and just see where his vision was going to go with this team and his own passion, his own desire, and his goals for the team. And I think that they're off in the right direction, and I think they picked a good gentleman to lead them. And we'll see where he gets. So I'll be following that team very close as well. I'll be following Paige Beckers and Dallas and what they do and how they attack and all their different things. And especially I'll be following that coach because I got the opportunity to meet him virtually. I got to sit in on that conference like I mentioned, and it was just a really cool experience. And when it's not what you know, it's who you know and the connections you have and the connections they have. And then they can ultimately connect you with the upper of, for example, like the WNBA. And I'm ultimately blessed for that opportunity that I had to sit in on that conference. And it was an invite-only type of conference. So I'm very honored and humbled that I was selected to be in there and take some notes and how to be a better head coach. And he gave some good tips and some good tricks and what he did to get where he is. And I can ultimately keep that in my jar of tricks if I ever want to go that far. So I'm very humbled, very excited to have experienced that, gone through that. And I think lastly, we have the NBA season about to wrap up. We have anywhere near about probably 5 to 6 games left when this will get dropped for you, get released for you. So we got an exciting playoff run, I believe. I ultimately believe the Lakers will make the playoff run. I want them to get the 3rd seed. They are in a good track to do so. I had the amazing opportunity a few months back to go to a Lakers game and also have the ability to sit almost courtside, just behind courtside on the floor. What a phenomenal experience that was, just being in that lower half of the stadium was just epic. The surroundings were different. When you're that low, you get the dedicated fans, and I'm not saying the upper people are not dedicated fans, but there's just a different level of energy. There's a different level of heart, a different level of passion. You get the more, I guess, bought-in Lakers crew, in my opinion. And not like the people in the upper rafters are not a part of that crew, because I think that whole facility and that whole...
We'll be back after a quick break.
Don't forget to follow us on all the platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Music. Thank you for listening to the show.
Environment is, sold out, dedicated to the Los Angeles Lakers, but when you're just on the floor and you're basically a half row back from courtside seats, the energy level is just different. The atmosphere is just different. You're just surrounded by, we want Lakers to win no matter what. We want them to sell out no matter what. We want them to just play and sacrifice and just have a good time. But just be able to experience that was a great, phenomenal feeling. I am just thrilled. I got to watch them, firsthand, close up. Luka Doncic, for example, is good, if not better than what they say or what they probably sell him to be. It was really neat to watch him firsthand. It was really neat to watch him that close and be able to see, not just on a screen, what he is capable of doing, but what he is capable of doing in real life and the ultimate impact he leaves on the Los Angeles Lakers and his versatility. I really enjoyed watching him play, although that night he did not have the best of nights, but I think in the fourth quarter he made up for his sloppy night. He just continued to get better. He continued to be hungry and just took over, took the game. I remember it being tied at 45-45. It was a great thriller of a game. It was anyone's game. And it was just a phenomenal thing to watch them connect as a team. And he is just a person that you can't forget. You have Austin Reeves, who is just an all-around great player. He can play center if he wanted to. He can play the point guard if he wanted to. He can play shooting guard. He is just a person who loves to attack, loves to just go after it, and he just dominates. That's just what he does. He's just great at what he does, and I can't speak any more highly of him. Being able to see him up close and also be a person to take control of that game in that situation and say, no, we're going to go win this thing for us, for our team, was just a very unique thing and neat thing to see. Just his ultimate involvement with his team and his rally. They weren't really struggling. They just weren't getting off to the hottest of starts previous that I'd seen them get to at the time. So it was really cool to just see him and see his team evolve around him. I really think that the Lakers need to find a way to continue to keep him, continue to extend his contract, because I think without him, they wouldn't be anywhere close to where they are. Obviously, the naysayers and everyone's going to come back and say, oh, yeah, well, they wouldn't be as close or if close at all without Luka Doncic. That is true to a point, but I really think that Austin Reeves gives them a different level of, energy, a different level of competitive nature. But overall, the bigger picture, they are sitting in the third seed, and I hope they can continue to maintain that. I know they had a rocket start, and they were felt like they were untouchable, felt like that they were, couldn't lose a game. And I'm glad they went through the lumps when they went through the lumps, because ultimately, look, they turned the corner, they're back up on top, and I really think they're gonna make a hell of a run. I really do. And I wish them nothing but the best. They deserve nothing but the best, especially J.J. Redick. In my opinion, again, deserves nothing but the best. I think he is the ultimate game changer, the ultimate, change the vibe, change the scenery. Got a young buck in there. He's never coached before, but sometimes you got to surround that around a young team, around a young and veteran team with veteran players. So I'm just thrilled to know where they're at, what they can do. I know a lot of us out there may not be Lakers fans, but when you say Los Angeles Lakers, you know who we're talking about. So anyone who catches this, I think it's going to be phenomenal to see their run. I hope they can go more than the first round, but you never know. This is the, NBA. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to get you. But I'm excited for them. I'm very happy and thrilled to know where they're at. And I hope it can continue. It's just a phenomenal thing, and I'm very thrilled and excited to see where this Lakers season ends up. Maybe potentially a championship. Who knows? So really, I guess that's kind of a secondary taste. This is technically the first show. I know about a week and a half ago or so, or about a week ago, I put out, what this, I guess, side of podcasting is going to be. It is going to be the Heat and Headlines Sports Show update, as I mentioned last week. But I just wanted to come on here and give you guys the first taste of kind of where we're going to go with this. I'm going to do my ultimate best. It is going to be a challenge. I'm working kind of like a full-time, half-time job over at Golden Sky Radio. If you guys not have caught on, there will be no more Inner Champions style mindset podcast over here. That's why we are turning it into the Heat and Headline Sports Show update podcast. But I want to let you know that I have yet to decide what I'm going to do with the rest of the shows that I had over here for that style of podcast. Excuse me. I still have them. I think I'm just going to push them back, believe it or not, a whole year, maybe 2 years. I don't know yet. I have yet to decide. But just know once a week over here on the Inner Champions podcast, on these platforms, you will hear a Friday sports update show. So I please hope you can still stay tuned in for those. I know technically people are going to be like, oh, why'd you switch? Why'd you do that? If you want that information, I highly encourage you. If you loved these podcasts, if you enjoyed listening to these podcasts, please go over to goldenskyradio.net. That is the official Golden Sky Radio website. Please go check that out for any of those updates. And the reason, I'll give you a little reason why I moved over there. Basically, the reason why I think I moved over there and wanted to move over there is the person running and the person who owns Golden Sky. I've known them for about a year and a half, and they are just a phenomenal human being. She is just a worker, a workhorse. She has a great vision, a great mindset, and I just ultimately made the decision to help her out because she had helped me out the year prior. And we're going to do this thing as a team. We have a team mindset, and she needed help. And why not take the Inner Champions podcast and make it bigger, broader, and more people to listen to or potentially help out. So that is ultimately the biggest reason why I moved over there. I moved over there, yes, to help her out, but I also moved over there to make Inner Champions podcast be heard on a bigger platform, more chances and opportunity for the Inner Champions podcast to be heard by thousands more people. Not saying it wasn't loved over here on these platforms by any stretch of the imagination. I actually got some good feedback from that particular podcast, and I only hope that can continue with the newest change we are making over here with the sports show. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There's no guarantees. There's no promises. And I'm fully aware of that, and I'm okay with that, however it happens, however it turns out. Again, I'm not here for clickbait. I'm not here for those things. But again, if you like and if you enjoy the Inner Champions podcast, please go over to goldenskyradio.net. Please check us out on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and eventually YouTube. Because over there, once a week, I am live and amplified all over the radio on a internet radio station called Golden Sky Radio. So if you enjoyed those podcasts and you want them live weekly and you want to relive some of these shows and episodes I put up for you, they are done more professionally, more, clean, as far as there's not as many outtakes, cutouts, etc., because I have gotten really good with the time that I put in here over on these platforms, being able to experiment, being able to, just play around, because I'm not much of a podcaster. I didn't know podcasting at the time. And again, she's the reason for the Inner Champions podcast. Let's not forget that. So I couldn't do anything but give back to her, and that's ultimately what I've done. And I hope you guys can come over there and join me on my journey with this opportunity to not only be on Golden Sky Radio, but also ultimately help out with Golden Sky Radio and be like a right-hand man and with the technology side of things and just knowledge of what I know. I don't know everything. She doesn't know everything either, and she doesn't claim to know everything. And I think it's just a great working relationship. I think being able to be involved, being able to learn the programs, learn the system, and just do it in the comfort of your own home. And I think that's what the funnest part for me is. Not that I have to go anywhere, not that I don't like going anywhere. I love going out. I love doing those things. I love going into studios and places like that, but doing it at the comfort of your own home, you can kind of go at your own pace. You don't feel rushed, and you're not getting looked at of, what'd you say, how'd you say that, why'd you say it that way. It is clearly my show over there at my disposal. Of course, I'm not using every cuss bomb in the world or anything like that, but again, another ploy, please go check out Golden Sky Radio at goldenskyradio.net. And again, we're on all platforms right now currently except for YouTube. So please, if you could do me a huge favor, go check that out. Please, if you want to check out what we are doing over there at Golden Sky, you can ultimately go check out my social media at Inner Champions Podcast. Please don't forget to check out the Inner Champions Podcast social media platforms on Facebook at the Inner Champions Podcast, on Instagram at Inner Champions Podcast, and most importantly, if you want to catch the latest shows, if you miss them live, I then ultimately take that live recording and then put that show that I have done on my YouTube channel. So please make sure to check out my YouTube channel. That YouTube channel is slightly different. It is going to be Coach's Radio Show Network. I have done that because I was going to open my own network and things like that. That's a story for a whole nother day. But ladies and gentlemen, if you miss the Inner Champion Podcast Show weekly, if you want to catch it live, I'll go ahead and leave that for you and kind of wrap up this show. But if you want to catch it live, it is 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. For all of that information, you can do it in two places. First and foremost, you can go check out the GoldenSkyRadio.net website. If you visit our website, go to the top left corner, click on the three lines, and you can follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can send us an email. We have an email over there for you to catch us on. Send us tips, tricks, details, questions, comments, concerns, whatever you feel like. And ultimately, you can even call into the show. You can leave your questions, and we will answer them in a upcoming show for you if it pertains to our show. So there's a lot of moving parts. I will ultimately be keeping the Inner Champions Podcast social media intermixed with the Golden Sky radio station, ultimately because it is still the Inner Champions Podcast, but the Inner Champions Podcast got picked up and moved over to Golden Sky radio station. So that is why I'm going to keep them intermixed, because it still follows the same baseline. Just the color scheme has changed and some dynamic things have changed, but we'll be okay. And more importantly, so if you want to follow for more of the sports show aspect, like we were talking here, please still check out the Inner Champions Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook, and you will see more sports-related updates, highlights, etc., sound bites from shows that are coming up like I used to do and things like that. So please make sure to check out the Inner Champions Podcast on all social media platforms. And I think lastly, before wrapping this up and getting out of here, I want to let you know that the Real Talk with Jordyn and T's Enchanted Trinkets will remain a sponsor for the Inner Champions Podcast and this new sports podcast. I am just going to pick both of them up and carry them over to this sports podcast. So please make sure to check out their social media platforms. Their names are in the description below. Make sure to tap on those and or at least highlight their names and then put them into social media platforms, preferably on Instagram. I know both of those accounts have Instagram accounts. I follow them both. They follow me. And we're off and good and we're running. So please check out both sponsors, especially T's Enchanted Trinkets. Tell them Coach sent you and you might get off a discount. And so, yeah, that will do it for the Heat and Headline Sports Show update. I hope you guys enjoyed the new twist on the this new show, this new platform, this new program, this new adventure we're going to take. It's going to be exciting, and I want it to be hopefully a little bit, controversial. I love sports. I love talking sports. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to tune in next Friday for another show. Thanks for listening. This is Coach from the Heat and Headline Sports Show.